thanks everyone for joining us today. I hope you're excited to draw some gnomes. I want to know what kind of gnomes you guys are going to be drawing. You have to tell me what colors you're using. I want to know everything. So you let Debbie know in the Q&A what kind of gnomes you're going to be drawing today.
We have people that are eating sugar cookies while they are making. I am so jealous. It's nothing that I like better than a sugar cookie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, it looks like it's kind of starting to level off and that everyone's joining us. So, Stacy, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Stacy. I work on the education team here at Michael's, and I'm so excited to get to draw some gnomes with you today. I just want to go over the materials really quick. If Debbie, if you could switch to my overhead real quick. So today we're going to be using the Creatology colored pencils, and we're going to be using the Creatology drawing pad. Now, I want to tell you that you do not need these particular supplies to do this craft. It's just a drawing. If you have a pencil or a marker or a crayon or any sort of drawing utensil, you can do this. That's the great thing about this. It's very accessible. You don't need any of these particular supplies, but if you have them, that's great. I really like these pencils. They come sharpened, so it's just right out of the box. You can draw with them. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's get started. So I have my piece of paper here. So we have this little instruction sheet that was with your sign up. And if you didn't print it out, that's perfectly fine. I have it right here. And if you ever need to see it, just let me know and I can hold it up to the camera. If we have some more advanced drawers in our class, I have the finished gnome right here. So if you want to just go ahead and get drawing ahead of me and you just want the reference image, it's right there.
Oh, so Stacy, before you get going any further, we have a couple people that are really concerned with this question. What if they don't have the right colors? Are there even right colors?
No, absolutely. So you do not have to make this particular gnome. You can make any type of gnome you want. Whatever colors you have, use those colors. Because I mean, it's a gnome. He can be any color you want. You want a purple gnome, you want a yellow gnome or an orange gnome. You make the gnome that you can make. You do not have to make this particular gnome.
Good, because there's a lot of people that are going to make white and red gnomes, pink, purple, and blue gnomes. Emily is even going to make a cat baker gnome.
That's amazing. I love that, Emily. Way to be really creative. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm left-handed, so it might be a little hard to see as I'm going to draw. So I'm going to draw my shapes and then I'm going to move my hand so you can see, and I'm going to kind of explain what I did. If you have any questions, you know where to reach us in that Q&A box.
Now, hold on a second. Did you say you were left-handed?
I am left-handed.
Did you know only 10% of people worldwide are left-handed?
Wow, really? That makes me feel really special.
Yes, 10%. You should feel very special.
Yeah, and any left-handers we have in the class today, you guys are just as special as I am. All righty. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to follow our guideline here, and I'm just going to start with a very simple circle, and that's going to be the start of our gnome's nose. And it does not have to be a perfect circle, and you can make it as big or as small as you want. It's just a simple circle. And then from there, we're going to make the brim of our gnome's hat. You see how he's got like the little lines from his hat right there? So we're gonna do 2 lines that are gonna come out on each side of that circle. It's just 2 simple lines, 1 line, 2 lines. And from there, we're gonna make his hat. I'm gonna make this a little bit more simple than it is in this little instruction. See this one, it's rounded off. It's got kind of like a curve to it. It makes it look a little bit more hat-like, but you know what? A hat can just be a triangle. And I think it's simpler to draw a triangle. So I'm gonna draw a triangle. And to do that, I'm gonna draw 2 vertical lines that are gonna meet in the middle, or 2 lines, so like that, and like that. And there's his hat. And so for his beard, I'm just gonna break everything down into really simple shapes. And if you have any trouble following along, just let me know. These guys are super quick to make, so I can make a bunch of them. But to do his beard, all this is a half circle. It's a half circle with some white waves in it. So I'm actually gonna make a small little guideline for me to go by. I'm gonna make a guideline, and it's just gonna be really light. It's just a half circle going from one side of the brim of the hat to the other. And then from there, I'm gonna make a slightly darker line, and I'm just gonna make it wavy.
So Stacy, a couple people are asking, why is it that we don't see any eyes on the gnomes?
You know, this particular gnome doesn't have any eyes, but if you want your gnome to have eyes, he can definitely have eyes. In fact, our next gnome that we draw, I can draw some eyes on there for you, so you can see how to draw some eyes on our gnome. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna draw the arms, and we're gonna draw the start of the feet. So the arms, again, are just 2 little half circles, and they're coming out of the beard, and you can just put them on the sides, wherever you can fit them on the sides of the beard. Again, you can make them as prominent or as small as you want. And then for the start of the legs here, it's just 3 little lines. You're gonna have 2 small lines, then 1 long line, both coming out of the bottom of the beard. So we're gonna have 1, 2, and then 1 long line in the middle. And now we're gonna do the feet, and we're gonna finish off the hands. And the feet are just 2 loops on either side of those 3 lines. And then the hands are just lines on the sides of your half circle. And there's a gnome, but that's all it is. So I'm gonna show you how to do the little circles and then the little stripes on this example gnome first, in case you want to just draw this exact gnome. And so to do this, all you have to do is you just draw some simple circles, and you don't have to draw them in the exact place that they are in the example. You can draw your circles anywhere you want. To kind of make the hat look more round, you can draw a half circle. And basically what that shows is like the rest of the circles on the other side of the hat. And so you can do that. You can draw small circles, you can draw big circles, you can do whatever you want. And then finally, we can draw the little lines on his legs. And to do that, it's just 2 horizontal lines on either side. And there's our gnome. Super simple. All right. Well, let's draw another gnome, and we'll give him some eyes so that I can show you kind of how to do some eyes. And then when we're done with that, we can color a gnome. And yeah.
So before you get there, can we just a little bit of a recap? So we're getting a couple questions again about, do they have to use certain paper? Can they use any paper? Do they have to use certain pencils?
So no, absolutely not. So the greatest thing about drawing, it's one of the reasons I love it. It's one of the reasons it's one of my favorite hobbies, is that it's so accessible. You don't have to use these exact materials. You don't have to use colored pencils. You don't have to use this particular paper. Just whatever you can find at home that you can draw with is what you can use, what you're welcome to use. If you have markers or pencils or crayons or any type of paper, just anything you can draw with is perfectly fine. And you don't have to have these colors. Use whatever colors you want. Just be as creative as you want with it.
And so along that same line of being creative, what if they don't want to have a long beard on their gnome? What if they want their gnome to have a short beard so they can see the gnome smile?
Yes, absolutely. You could have a gnome with a short beard. You could have a gnome with a mustache. You could have a clean shaven gnome. You do whatever you want with your gnome. He is your gnome. Or if she's a she, she's your gnome. It is up to you, however you want to do your gnome.
Okay, so it looks like some people are finishing up the first one that they're drawing. And so they're asking for ways to be able to show it to us. So one of the best ways to be able for Stacy and I to see it is for you to work with your grown-up, and if they're on social media, to post it and hashtag it, make it with Michael's hashtag or hashtag Michael's classes. That way, when we're searching for the hashtags, we'll be able to see your great work.
Yeah, I would love to see your gnomes. I want to see Emily's cat baker gnome that she talked about. And if anyone else is doing any like creative gnomes, let me know. I'm super excited to hear about everyone's gnomes. And then is anyone giving their gnome a name? I want to know everyone's gnome names.
They're asking about that too. Is it okay if they name them?
Yes,
so that's
absolutely.
Great. And the other thing that they're really excited about doing is they're excited about being able to create a background on for their gnome.
Yes, absolutely. You can make any kind of background. You know, and I'll play off this a little bit. I was looking up some gnome facts for this class, and did you know that gnomes are known to be good luck symbols that originate from like the forest? So you could put like some trees and some bushes around your gnome, or heck, if you want him to be a garden gnome, you could put like some flowers or something around him. Be creative with the background. Yeah, that's a great idea. What wonderful ideas we have from our audience today.
And there is someone that has obviously been on a lot of Michael's Kids Clubs because they're asking, can they add glitter to their gnome?
Yes, oh my gosh. You can definitely add glitter to your gnome. You might want to, if it's just freestanding glitter, you might want to work with your parent to make sure that you have a tarp or some sort of surface to make sure you don't get glitter everywhere, but definitely glitter is a must for some gnomes. Okay, so let me draw one more gnome, and then I can start coloring this first gnome so that we can kind of get a finished gnome that looks a little bit like this, so you can understand how to make that. So we're just gonna do the exact same thing we did again. And you know, one little trick that I wanted to show you is if you are uncomfortable drawing circles, if you don't like to, they're hard to draw. I know I've always had a problem with drawing circles. You can always just use something as a template. Like I have a little quarter right here. His nose is gonna be a little bigger, but that's okay. And you can just use that as a template. That's just a little hack for you. There, we're gonna have a big nose gnome. Maybe this is like the kid gnome, and this is like the mommy or daddy gnome. And so
someone was just asking about drawing a gnome family.
Yes.
They're very good.
So I just put the little lines on either side of the nose, and that's gonna be the brim of the hat. And then we're gonna do 2 vertical lines for the hat. And they're just gonna, they just originate from those 2 lines, and then they meet in the middle. And then when we're gonna draw a half circle for the beard, and I just do that little guideline from one tip of the hat to the other. And then I'm just gonna make a wavy line so that I can have something to follow. And now I'm gonna do the 2 arms, and they'll start the legs. So I'm gonna do 2 half circles on either side of the beard. And then for the legs, I'm gonna do 3 lines with the middle line being the longest. So I've got 2, and then a long line in the middle. And then to finish off this gnome, we're gonna do 2 loops for the feet, and then lines for the hands. And now I liked how people were talking about eyes. So I'm actually going to give this guy some eyes so that he can have, just a little bit, he's a little different from this gnome, right? So I think for my eyes, I'm going to have them right under the hat. So I'm going to use these hat lines as my guideline for my eyes. And so I'm just going to do like a half circle, like maybe he's a little grumpy gnome. He's like, and then I'm just going to put 2 half circles on either side of the nose here. And then I'm going to do 2 more half circles. And then I'm just going to color it in.
So while you're coloring it, would you like to hear some of the names?
Yes, I want to hear everyone's gnome names.
Oh my goodness, we've got some great ones. So we have Mia,
Ooh.
and we have Jerry, and we have Chris the gnome, and we have Emma, and we have Nomi.
Nomi, that's great. We
and Sage, and Gerald, and Santa, and Sparkle, and Bubblegum.
Ooh.
Jacob.
These are some great gnome names.
Becker, another Santa, a Jerry, a Lumpy. Yes, that's really good. And then someone is asking if we have ever seen a gnome without a hat on.
I saw a movie called Romeo and Juliet, and I believe in that movie they take off their hat at least once.
I recall that movie too.
So yeah, if you wanted to draw a gnome without a hat, you could. And then you can be creative as what's under the hat. Do they have like big ears, or are they bald underneath? Maybe that's why they wear the hat. They don't want to.
Right.
Maybe they're hiding something. Maybe they're a unicorn and they have a horn underneath that.
Funny you should say that, because someone is drawing a unicorn gnome.
Oh, I love it. I love unicorn. I love it. I think that's great.
We have one named Confetti.
Ooh, Confetti. That sounds fun. It sounds colorful.
Yes, and one named Itty Bitty. And then I'll tell you one more thing before I stop and let you continue.
Okay.
You got a compliment. Aww. I'd like to let you know that you are doing a great job with this class.
Thank you. Thank you for the gnome pun. I love it.
All right. So keep going, and then we'll come back and read you some more.
All righty. So I'm going to color my 2 gnomes here. And I should give them a name. I think this is going to be, we'll name him, this is going to be Frank. This is Frank the gnome. He looks like a Frank. And then maybe this is Sally. This is Frank and Sally the gnome. All right, now let's color Frank and Sally here. So I'm gonna use just some colored pencils, but again, you do not have to use colored pencils if you have markers or crayons, or if you don't have any colored pencils and you just wanna draw more gnomes, you're welcome to do that. You do not have to follow along exactly what I'm doing. So I'm just getting out a couple different reds because I can see in this right here. You see like the darker parts? That's like a little shading. And I can show you how to do that. It's really simple. And then I'm going to get out, whoa, I dropped my pencil. I'm gonna get out that flesh color for the, and I'm gonna get out this pink. And it looks like we got some green. Get out a nice couple of greens here. That's a good green. Maybe not that green. All right. I'm gonna start with Sally here. We're just going to start with a nice base red. And I'm just going to start with my lightest red here. I'm just going to color the hat, the arms, and the legs, just like how we have it in this example image here. And I'm just coloring. You just do it any way that feels natural to you. You do not have to follow my coloring exactly. In fact, I think the more colors you use, the more fun your gnome is. I think confetti sounds like he's going to be a really colorful gnome.
I think so. That and sparkles and bubble gum for sure.
Oh yeah, bubblegum sounds like they're going to be a pink gnome.
Well,
let us know.
Yeah, there's even one named Yoshi.
Yoshi, is he green? Love Yoshi.
Yeah, so do I.
So I was looking up some gnome facts for this class. And I wanted to know why gnomes were associated with Christmas. Because I always thought of Christmas as like Santa and elves, but gnomes just seem like a weird inclusion for me. And so I looked it up. And apparently in places like Sweden, they believe that gnomes live in their forests. And during Christmas time, they'll go and knock on people's doors to give them gifts. So they're just like nice little neighbors, just popping by to say hello. All right, so we've got our base red there. And so remember how I talked about how there was like some darker parts? So that's just what's called shading. It helps to give just more depth to your drawing. Again, it makes it seem more like it's 3D versus like 2D. And you do not have to do that. If you don't want to do shading, you don't have to. But I'm just going to show you how to do it in case you're interested. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to run a darker pencil over the side here and above the brim right there, and then around the two arms and legs, just like how they have it here. So I'm just gonna color it on the side, just like that. See how that's kind of giving it more depth already? And then we're gonna do that same thing to the brim. And then I'm gonna color around the two arms. Just like that. And then I'm gonna color around the legs. Just like that. And there it's got a little bit of shading. Gives it that little extra amount of pop. So I'm gonna do his little nose and then, or her little nose. This is Sally the gnome. And then the two hands. Just using a nice flesh color here. And you use whatever color you want for this skin. You do not have to use a flesh color. You could use green or pink or purple, any color you want.
So someone is going to make a rainbow beard. Isn't that a great idea?
That's amazing. I would love to have a rainbow beard. That sounds amazing. Okay, so for the nose, I noticed that there's like a little pink. Like he's got a little red nose. Maybe he's been out in the cold. So I was gonna just fill in that nose with some pink to get that color there.
So Stacy, Sunny is sharing some information with us on the history behind gnomes. Because gnomes really help protect all the children from anything in the night while they sleep. So that's why so many children have, so many homes have gnomes.
That's so cool. Thanks for sharing that. That's wonderful. Well, gnomes are our friends and they're here to help us. All right, so now I'm gonna color in the little circles and then the line on his pants there. I'm just gonna color it in. Doesn't have to be perfect. Do not have to color all the way inside the lines. You can see I haven't even colored in all the lines. Just doing my best. And that's all anyone can ever ask, is that you do your best and just have fun doing it. That's what we're here to do. We're here to have fun. Coloring our gnomes. If anyone else has any gnome facts, let us know. Love to know. Love to know with a G, silent. Honey over here. All right. And so finally, I'm going to color in the little feet as black. They're like little black, almost Santa boots. So I'm just going to use that same black I used to draw with. I'm just going to color in the feet.
So there's a lollipop gnome.
Lollipop gnome. Does he have a big lollipop? Did you give him a lollipop?
Cool guy gnome.
Ooh, he sounds like he should have sunglasses.
Yeah, definitely. There's Pinky.
Pinky.
And Petty. And Nutshell.
Nutshell. Ooh.
And a few gnomies.
I love it. Just hanging with my gnomies.
That's right. And Dolly.
Ooh, Dolly.
And Teeny and Pointy.
Teeny and Pointy. I love it. It's almost like the, what? It's like the Seven Dwarfs, Snow White.
Yes.
Those guys were technically gnomes. All right. So we finished Sally the gnome here. And now we have to come up with colors for Frank, because I think Frank should be a little different. Don't you guys think? He should be like his own gnome. Let's see here. What other colors can we use for Frank? Maybe we can use some like blues. Frank a blue gnome. I love the color blue. What are you guys' favorite colors? Does anyone else like blue? Do we like pink? Is rainbow considered a color? Can that be a favorite color?
Themes that people are liking. It's a lot of blue, a lot of pink, gold, purple,
ooh,
electric lime green,
ooh, very
rainbow, specific. Teal, which is one of my favorite colors.
Well, that is awesome. You guys have some pretty cool favorite colors. All right, so I'm gonna color in Frank here, and I'm just gonna do my own design. I think since Sally has little circles, I'm gonna do Frank's hat in like little lines. So I'm gonna do like just diagonal lines here. We'll make it kind of a stripy hat. Just gonna do purple and blue. I think purple and blue are nice colors. Is anyone else customizing their gnome hats?
Oh, I think so. I've heard lots of rainbows. Mm-hmm. A lot of people liked the idea of unicorns.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. We're still getting in some colors. Magenta.
Ooh, magenta's a pretty color.
People are putting stars on them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Snowflakes.
Oh, I love it.
Making it a Santa hat.
Oh, that's a great idea. You could also make it a Christmas tree too. You could put like a little star at the top and then like little ornaments.
Oh, yes, definitely. Turquoise. They're using turquoise.
Ooh, turquoise.
They're putting pom-poms on their hats.
Oh, how cute. That's a wonderful idea. You guys are so creative. Good job, everyone.
A garden hat.
Ooh. Does that have like flowers on it?
I think so. And one's putting a carrot on there.
A carrot?
Mm-hmm.
guys are so creative.
Ooh, and a lime green, a hot pink, and a silver.
Ooh, silver, hot pink. Those are great, great colors. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing I did with Sally over here. I'm gonna shade Frank's hat in the same kind of way, but since I have a couple of different colors, I gotta use a couple of different colors. So I started with like a couple of light colors, and I'm gonna come in with like a darker color.
More people adding glitter.
Ooh.
And naming their spots since they have so many spots.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Purple and blue stripes and adding yellow and orange spots.
Ooh, that sounds pretty.
Someone added a broom.
A broom?
Yes.
That's awesome. You guys are great drawers. You must be so talented. All right. I think I'm gonna make his clothes. Or you know what? We're gonna keep, since you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna make his arms and his feet like a light pink. Because we're just gonna make our own gnome.
And someone named theirs Cotton.
Cotton. Oh, that's a great name because his beard's all cottony.
One of them's adding a little puppy dog.
Aw, like a little gnome puppy dog. Does the dog also have a beard?
Probably so. Someone wants to know how I'm seeing what they're doing. I can't see what you're doing. I'm reading these from the Q&A where people are going into the Q&A section. So don't worry, we can't see inside your homes.
Yes, but we do want to see your finished gnomes. So if you want to show us your gnomes, if you ask your parents if you can share it at #MakeItWithMichaels or #MichaelsClasses. We would love to see your finished gnomes. I really want to see some of these really creative gnomes because you guys are being just super creative today. So I'm really excited to see them. All right.
And people are talking about some of the backdrops that they're doing. They're having like the forest setting like you talked about. A lot of them are having them stand by mushrooms or mushroom houses.
Oh, that's great. Those are great ideas, guys. You guys are so talented. All right. You know what? I think I'm gonna make Frank, I'm gonna make him green. He's gonna be a green gnome. I'm gonna make him green. So he can be whatever color we want him to be.
So someone asked a really good question, and I'm trying to go back to find it exactly, but it had to do with, could you cut these out? Let's say you wanted to make a gift tag or a gift for someone. Could you cut these out and have your grown-up use Mod Podge or something to add them to like a gift tag or a card?
Yeah, absolutely. So you could cut these out. Just make sure that you're using safety scissors when you're cutting so that you don't hurt yourself or have a grown-up help you cut it out. And then, yeah, absolutely. You could put like your name in the beard here, or you could put like a little name tag out to the side if you wanted to just like make like a little name tag here and then put your name in there. You could do that. You could definitely, like, if you have a grown-up who can help you, you could have them help you adhere it to the package. Or you could also have a grown-up help you, like maybe punch a hole into the hat there, and then you could put a ribbon in there and then stick it on that way. You could make these into Christmas tree ornaments. You could make them into gift tags. You can do whatever you want. It's your gnome. So
someone is making it 3D-ish, and what they're doing is, or at least 2D, they are ripping up cotton balls and gluing them to the beard.
That's awesome. What a great idea. That's going to make it just all the more special.
Yes. And someone wants me to share that they've named theirs Carrot and mushy.
Carrot and mushy. I love it.
Lots of rainbows, lots of rainbows.
Oh, yeah.
And another fun fact, gnomes like to eat nuts and mushrooms and peas, beans, potatoes, applesauce, fruit, berries, spices, vegetables, and preserves for dessert.
Ooh,
that is a fun fact.
That is. Look, sounds like gnomes have a really well-balanced diet there.
Some people are even painting them, Stacy.
Ooh, what kind of paints are you using? That sounds fun. Is anyone using like glitter paint or shiny paint?
And so we have this question again.
Mm-hmm.
When we see the gnome, we don't see, well, we do see eyes in the one, but we don't see a mouth or anything. Is that just because it's hidden behind the beard?
Yeah, it is. And honestly, if you wanted to draw a mouth, you definitely can. Like let's give Frank here a mouth. You could just draw like a little U shape. And then if you wanted to draw, like you might have like a little dimple, like you draw like a little line there. And there he's got a mouth. Maybe it's poking out of the beard. You can do whatever you want. If you want your gnome to have a mouth and some eyes, you can. If you just want him to be completely hidden by his hat there. I mean, I don't know, Sally here looks like she might have some trouble getting around because she can't see out of that hat, but Frank can. He bought a properly sized hat. All right. Well, I could draw another gnome, or I could maybe show you how to, why don't I show you how to shade the beard there? Because you see that beard has a little bit of shading, so I can show you how we did that. Let me get out a nice gray. Whenever you want to shade white, I always just use gray, but you could also use, I mean, you could use any color really. That's the great thing about art, is you make it your own. You can do whatever you want with it. And at the end of the day, it's yours. But I'm gonna use just a gray. And I'm just gonna do a very similar thing to what I did with the hat there, where I'm just gonna kind of go around the sides of my beard. And I'm just gonna add it to the side just to make it pop out a little bit more. If you're using cotton balls, that beard's gonna pop regardless, because it's gonna be all soft and fluffy. There we go. And you know, another thing they did in this picture is they kind of went a little bit out to kind of give it a little bit more depth. And you could do that too. You could just like maybe round it off a little bit in a couple of places. Makes it look a little bit more fluffy. And this is completely optional. You do not have to do this if you don't want to. It just seems confusing to you. You do not have to do it. Just do whatever it does that makes you happy. Let's do that. Let's do that for Frank here as well. I'm just gonna color his beard. And while I'm doing this, I actually have a little punny joke for you guys that I prepared. So what Christmas song do you think gnomes sing the most?
All right, let me tell you what answers I'm getting in.
Okay.
I got only Know Me so far. Anyone know?
All
So
right.
what's the answer?
I'll be gnome for Christmas.
Oh, I should have guessed. And Catherine guessed it.
Oh, good job,
Just
Catherine.
came up.
Good job. All right. Well, I think those are our gnomes. Is there any last thing anybody wants me to cover before we sign off here?
It looks like I'm just looking to see if there are any other questions. So this was recorded and it will be available on michaels.com/merrymaking. So you'll be able to go back. We do have a few more classes this week at the same time. We have them all the way through Christmas Eve. So please come back and join us. If you haven't signed up, there's still plenty of time to go on michaels.com/merrymaking and sign up for the rest of the classes. Stacy, I don't see any more questions. I think that everyone has just had a really good time and they're looking forward to working with their grown-up and posting it on #MakeItWithMichaels, #MichaelsClasses, so that you can check it out.
Wonderful. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. I hope everyone had a ton of fun. Yeah, share your gnomes. I want to see what everyone made. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you signed up for another class, or if not, you know, go enjoy your holiday break with your friends and your family. And yeah, so thanks everyone.
Thank you, Stacy.
Yeah, thank you. Happy holidays.